Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Nick from the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive depending on where you are in the world, and we're going to be taking a look at Test Drive 2 The Duel, published by Accolade in 1989 and developed by Distinctive Software, as I can choose my controls here. Now, it's a game I really loved on the Commodore Amiga. I've only just started reviewing Sega games, so we're having a look at a few games that were also on the Amiga to give me a nice gentle run in. This one's got music in it, which the original didn't, so that's quite interesting. Let's go. Oh, that's interesting. We didn't have a choice of a Lamborghini Diablo car in the other games, so that's interesting. And looks like we've got the standard cars after that. So then Porsche 959 and the Ferrari F40. Well, I'm going to have to take out this new car, the Lamborghini Diablo. Looks like the slowest of the three, so I'll probably be in a bit of bother. Now, the frame rate on the Amiga wasn't the best in the world, but because I played it a lot as a kid, as we choose our opponents, I really loved it. Oh, a choice of scenery as well. Now, I wonder if that's a recreation of the European scenery disc and the Californian scenery disc. Well, we'll have a go there. So I've had no practice on this at all, which is probably a bit awkward, so hopefully it plays a bit like the Amiga version. So we're doing manual gears, so we put it on some degree of difficulty, and we're racing the Porsche 959. Looks like it's going to come past me there, is it? Yes, and we crashed into it. Well, that's a bit silly, but that happened on the original game as well. It's divided into stages, this, if you're unfamiliar with the game. You must race to the end, get to the gas station as quickly as you can. You get 20 seconds time penalty for a crash. If you crash too many times, you are out of the race completely. The police will try and stop you and pull you over for a ticket. If you crash into the police car, it's the end of the game straight away. And on the top left there, you can see the distance of the stage ticking down. It's currently on 3.7, and then just your time below hand. Right, yeah, and if you crash into cars, you are doomed. And that's pretty much it, really. So we'll see how we get on. You do have to leave a bit of a wide berth around the cars as you overtake them. Now, I think this would have struggled trying to get people that are just familiar with the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive to try and like this one, because it is moving a little bit slow compared to things like Outrun and Lotus. So it's like an emulated Amiga version, so it would have been a bit tricky. But I'm quite liking this. The stages are different to the Amiga version. Now, for years I argued that I wanted more scenery discs, and this looks like it was the answer. I should have played it on this system as well. Traffic is slightly different. Oh, what happened there? That was a bit weird. It seems that if you drift too near the side without driving over it, it will just, well, suck you off the end of the thing. You'll get blown off. That's a bit weird. Very strange, so let's look out for that. It's moving a little bit quicker than the Amiga version. The frame rate is a little bit smoother, believe it or not. That noise means we're being pursued by the police. They get their radar on us. So I think there's about 5 stages each time. We won't do every level, if indeed I get to the end. So we've got 112 miles per hour there, but I will check some out the other scenery as well. If people want me to, I might come back to it and do another one. But here we go. So you've got 3 cars to choose from. The Amiga had 2 car discs. You can get the muscle cars and the super cars. Well, that was close. And yeah, and the super disc as well. 108 miles an hour. Okay. Now, what is different here? I'm not a big fan of this music that plays at the same time, although it's nice to have it as a choice. I like to just hear the engine sounds, because it gives me a bit of an idea when to change gear. The engine sounds are drowned out a little bit by the music, and I'm having to look at the rev counter more. Always risky overtaking, because you might go into a car. Now the traffic always stays the same, so once you've played it quite a few times, once you've played it quite a few times, you will know when it's safe to overtake and when to hold back. I've got a last life already, right. I think what I'm going to need to do, a bit unusual for a review, is after this, if I don't make it to the end, is actually do a practice in the middle with a different car, then come back to it and then glue the two together in one set review. I think we'll do that. Because I was expecting to be brilliant at it straight away, but it's significantly different from the Amiga version in terms of the traffic patterns and the stages, for me to be a bit like a newbie on it. Wasn't expecting this, which is good to see. It's like I'm experiencing the game afresh again. But it's definitely Test Drive 2 the Duel when you're playing this. Right, can we risk going past here? Yeah, so we can get one stage done at least. And then when you get to the end, it'll say a big finish banner across the front. So quite a lot in this cartridge if you got this back in the day. Can't see a lot of people buying this unless they have the Amiga version first. Right, fill her up. The gas station awaits. You drove way too slow and you lost the game. Oh, does that mean I can't go to the next stage? Yeah, 53 miles an hour is my average speed. Oh look, so it's kicked me out. You do need a bare minimum. Right, so that was quite poor. I'll blame this new car, this Lamborghini Diablo. I won't buy one now. Right, okay, so I'll do a practice go and then I'll come back to you, I promise, and hopefully I'll be a lot better. Here we go, right, okay, so I've had a practice. Let's check out the Porsche. On my practice go I did the Ferrari F40, was a little bit quicker than the other car. We'll do a different scenery disc this time, we'll go here. I don't know if that's the same as a European scenery disc. It's a little bit darker. I do like the cockpit of the car a bit better. Great graphics there. Off we go. Right, it's the first time I've seen this scenery. Could have been a boo-boo again. But there's mountains in the distance, possibly in Austria or Germany. 5.4 miles to go. Time ticking down. Right. Now that does look a bit like the European scenery disc, that bridge there. Maybe we'll go onto the Autobahn. But the European scenery disc had windmills in it for Holland. And it had Switzerland, some chalets and castles for Spain. Perhaps this is going to be a mixed match of all that stuff. So we'll go on the inside. Brilliant. Now this car's moving a bit faster than the other one. You'll see that red dot there. Do check out my review of the original Test Drive on the Commodore 64. At time of recording we might have covered Test Drive 2 as well. Okay. Manual gears. Now if you're not used to this game at all, you can set it on beginner mode, which gives you automatic gears. And there's far less traffic and it's easier to outrun the police as well. You see, I've definitely slow down. I've definitely improved from my first go, haven't I? As we clocked a speeding ticket of 96 miles an hour. I don't know how many stages we're going to get done on this, but let's just try and beat my opponent. You'll see going across the dashboard there on the top of the windscreen, I should say, a green dot and a red dot. They represent us two racers. And occasionally you might see a police car zips in there as well. Oh, get back in. No, I couldn't weave through there. Curses, lives left 4. In the Amiga version, at the end of each stage you got given an extra life. I don't think this version does it, which is a bit stingy. So we need to get a bit extra talented. Did you have this game back in the day? Let me know what you thought of it. Did you have the Amiga version first, then play this, or was it straight on to this? Because as I say, I think it would have struggled to gain a new audience straight onto that system with what was about at the time. Right, okay. But as I say, it's quicker than the Amiga version, unless it is my imagination. Oh, I thought I was going to go around that. Yes, you need spatial awareness on this game. Accolade Test Drive 2 spatial awareness. So, as I say, published by Accolade in 1989, developed by Distinctive Software. What's your favourite version of this game if you played them all? Can we stop? No. Oh, we did! 105 miles an hour. There are a few cheats to the Amiga version where you could take the Corvette ZR1 on the Super Cars disc out to about 250 miles an hour, or maybe even faster. Right, how long have we got to go here? We're crashing a lot less. 0.18 or 1.8 is that to go. Sometimes you can drive off the road if there's no obstacles to avoid traffic. Couldn't do it here, of course, because you'll bump straight into a tree. I think I've got used to the music now. You've got a choice of free music, so if you get bored of it, free tracks, you can obviously pick a different one. But you can't change it during the race. Those white vans were there on every version I played. They've had more crashes than ZX81. Is this car going to move? Oh man, right, they've moved. I thought they'd brake tested me then. I do like that horizon graphic with those mountains, that's quite nice. So there's not too many colours on the screen at the same time, which gives you the nice feeling of Test Drive. I do like these games where you've got an actual cockpit to look at. It's virtual reality is not quite there for this game, but it means future ones it might very well be. If you're watching this in the future, or even the present, is there a virtual reality game like this? Let me know. Right, my opponent's beaten me to the gas station first. Now hopefully we'll be good enough this time to continue on with our adventure. Randy's gas in a flash. You crashed 2 times. You got 2 speeding tickets. You have 3 lives left, which isn't many. Press button. Right, we've got a high score, which is not surprising since it's the first time we've done this stage. Opponent crashed 3 times because you get a 20-second penalty for each crash. Go faster, it's only a game. Right. Now, did Grand Prix Circuit come out on the Sega Mega Drive? Let me know about that, because that was a precursor to the test drive games by Accolade. That would be interesting if it did do. So I know so far, since we've started the Sega Mega Drive reviews, the Genesis, I know everything we've covered so far has been racing games, but that is just a coincidence. There was Outrun, which I had to cover because people told me that was one of the best versions. Then we had a look at games that have been on the Amiga, that have also come out on the Sega Mega Drive, and that was Lotus: A Sweet Turbo Challenge, and we're probably going to do the sequel to that quite shortly, and Test Drive 2. So everything's been racing. But if you're not a racing fan, eventually we'll come to some other stuff, no doubt. But this is my favourite genre of games because I find it very nice to relax with these. There's not much thinking that goes on. There's not much instructions to read. You just drive on the road, get used to the different handling of the system, and you're away. And you can certainly get lost. It's like going for a nice drive, but with lots of crashes, and you don't have to pay for the repairs. Now, we're on the Autobahn, I think. So this is quite reflective of the Germany on the scenery disc on the Commodore Amiga version. Seems to be less buildings about the place, but this is the Autobahn, I think. Lots of different lanes of motorway. You can do whatever speed you want. If you drop down into a gear and over rev it, you will lose life because the car will explode. If we crash, of course, we get a nice cracked windscreen and the bonnet will go up. Yeah, so this is the extra scenery disc that I've been wanting all that time. Hooray! I don't know what the homebrew scene's like on the Sega Genesis Mega Drive. Let me know if there is any additional games to this in the Test Drive series. I always like to get the information. Whoa, close. Weave there. Slow down, slow down, slow down. We're not in a hurry. We just want to see as much of the game as possible. That's it. I think we're through. There's going to be no oncoming traffic here. But cars will pull into you without any warning. Right, that's the end of the Autobahn. I tell you what this one's lacking. It's a lack of road sign with like words on it and stuff. Right, so that's another stage done. The computer opponent's beating me again. This isn't on expert mode, it's on 1 notch below, but maybe I should have had it there. The game's moving slightly quicker, so perhaps that's why I'm not as good as other versions. But oh, I've got a free life. So you do get a free life if you do a clean run, which means no crashes, no speeding tickets. Which is tough to do. You won this... Oh, I did win the round, good. Because he got a 20-second penalty. So it's not complete annihilation, which is good. Right, so it looks like the horizon's going to stay the same no matter where we are. Okay. Right, so I don't know what stage this is, but I think there's going to be about 5 stages, maybe 6, and then we're gone. They're all different lengths. Traffic tends to stay the same. Occasionally you get a bit of undulation. But overall, I am liking this game, but only because I like the Amiga game, and this is slightly improved on it. But as I said before a few times, as a Sega Genesis game on its own, I'm not quite so sure. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's a very nice addition? Let me know. It's all about different opinions, sharing the knowledge and memories. If you're in nostalgia, or nostalgia always plays a massive part on it, because no doubt you've got games that you really, really love, and your friends or other people will hate them, because they didn't play them back in the day when they was a kid. Kids attaches memories to it, so if you've been playing this for actually weeks, back in the day when you were at school, then you're going to just end up loving it, aren't you? It's nice and comfortable, it's warm, a time where money wasn't a big factor, rent and all that sort of stuff. Your biggest worry was not doing your English homework or something and the lesson started in 10 minutes. Where if that happened to you now, you'd think, oh well, who cares? Haha, strange isn't it? Strange. Right, the police are after us, you can hear them as we go into the mountains. Hopefully there's some nice tunnels here. Oh, there we go. Speaking of tunnels, there's one. And it's a big tunnel. Accolade did like their tunnels. Hopefully the policeman doesn't pick us up here. It's just knowing when to pull over, getting past traffic to try and get around them. If you go too fast to the corners, you will go flying off the mountain, and that's not good for overall health. So, oops, there we go, he did catch me up. So this is going to be a longer review than normal, which I thought it would be. Which means it's going to take longer to upload. So I don't know what time of the day this has gone live, but hoping you're enjoying it. If you're new to the channel and you're only watching it because of Sega Mega Drive Genesis games, then I'm glad I've started doing them. Let me know what your favourite one is, if it's a racer or what have you, and I'll add it to the list. Can't guarantee it when we'll come to it, but we will come to it at some point. Another tunnel cut in the rock. Go. It's hard to know, apart from looking at the views, what's the most popular here. I do try and keep a rough eye on it. So I want to do, because I want the channel to grow, obviously, but I want to do games that I know. But I want to appeal to as many people as possible, because that's the only way the channel can survive and get big and compete and all that sort of stuff. So I don't think that's too much of a silly thing to think, is it really? Right, cutting on the inside, bit of a blind corner this one. My opponent's gone through in his Lamborghini Diablo in black. He's cut back in again. Have I got time to cut in? Yes. So it wouldn't hold up to scrutiny now, this game. You definitely need your nostalgia goggles on for it. Oh, let's slow down a bit. I thought it was going to crash into the back of him then. Yeah, he brake tested me, which is a bit naughty. Now this bit reminds me a little bit, I think, of either the Switzerland stage or the Spain stage. I need to play it again, really. I used to like the Porsche RUF, which was a yellow car in that game. Da, 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 da. Right. Oh, cut back in again. Don't risk that. Go back into the low gears and go past. So it's a lot easier in automatic gears, which I'm not doing. If you run over a pothole at the wrong angle, you would lose a gear, so you won't be able to use that. So it will over rev it. Use that red dot to steer. It would be very difficult without that there, which I'm sure you've already clocked in this review. There's a gas station. We're getting to the end. Oh dear, we don't want to bump into this fella. So that wasn't too bad. So looking good to get into the end, I think. The first guy I was crashing all over the shop. This is a lot better. So you've given one speeding ticket. I didn't crash at all. Got 4 lives left. Pull that through in Auntie's gas. Super record. What car did you prefer in this one? Nice, there's 3 cars. It's the Duel, you versus the opponent, but nice, there's 3 cars there. But no scenery, well, no extra scenery discs or car discs. Autobahns were made for drivers like you. Thank you very much. Okay, Horizon's the same again. Haven't got time in this review after it go on for ages to do the desert scenes or the California scenes. If you like the review and you want me to do that as well, let me know, and I'm sure I can fit it in. But I won't do it if no one wants it. That'll be just overkill. Go, go, go. Police after me again. Why are they always after me? It's because of my super speeding, isn't it? Oh, there's a pothole there, but we didn't lose a gear, which is good. We've outrun the police this time. In expert mode, I'm sure they would have got us. Cool, we're almost at top speed here. This is a long straight. Oh, brakes slightly there. Nice road holding. Not as slippery as test drive on the Commodore 64, that's for sure. The only bad bit really is on the mountain stage where you don't drive over the edge and like some massive suction just takes you off there, and I didn't like that. Everything else though I'm liking. Good stuff. As I say, we could lose the music, but it's not a hideous thing. Oh, that was a bit lucky the way that landed. Should we risk going around that bend? Oh man, you just don't know when traffic's going to come round. Let's risk everything. Can't see anything. Right, good. Got away with that one. 4.9 miles left. 4.8. Risking everything here. Right, so we're about halfway, aren't we? Looking at the top of the windscreen there, the green and the red. Police have got me. 145 miles an hour. I think that's my highest one so far. Ah, no, my opponent's passed. Curses blast. I was doing well then. I think once he's passed, I don't think you'll ever see him again unless he crashes. But the problem also is, if he crashes, he causes a roadblock, and you might then crash into him again, and lose all your lives. I'm sure he just moved through that van completely, and everything stopped. Why has everyone stopped? Right, that's it. Okay, I thought I was going to crash into the back of that van then. So that's a slight glitch then. If you stop, everything else has stopped. No! Cool. Thought it's just going to crash straight into me there. So I've lost a lot of time by stopping twice. That's not very clever, Nick, at all. Over the bridge again. Time ticking down, but still quite a distance to go. There's a blue car coming around, so we can't go into the other lane. Might be able to risk it now. Was in the wrong gear there. Acceleration isn't great. The Porsche 959. Yes, I've got a mod. You might have noticed when we do the vlog sometimes, I do have a model of Ferrari F40. It's one of the choices of cars in this game. You might see it in the background. I wanted a Porsche 959 as well, but I couldn't find one. There's Porsche 911s and stuff, but that isn't really the right car for this game. And that would have been good, but I'll keep looking. Oh man. And hopefully it won't be as damaged as this one. Are there any models of Porsche 959s? Well, it's roughly the same as my other car I got. 3.2, so we're getting a bit, the gameplay's getting a bit loose here. I need to rein it back again. Look how far my opponent's ahead of me there, that green dot there, racing away. And I've been pulled over again, 92 miles an hour. I don't think I'm going to get that distance back unless my opponent crashes. So look at the green rectangle slowly going up the top right of the dashboard. I'm the red one, some distance behind. Right, it's going around the outside. Oh, that was close. I thought I was going to clip on them then. Christmas trees, no time to stop and nick one. Or take one. Well, that was close as well. So we're just driving around here. You can only risk so much before there's going to be ultimate disaster. But that seems to work out okay again with the traffic. 1.9 miles left on this stage. Can't be too many stages left after this one. Been playing the game over 20 minutes now, I think. Including that test go I had in the middle, which won't be in the review. But I wasn't talking then anyway. I was just trying to get my bearings. 80 mph. That's quite a low speeding ticket. He should have just let me go, but I suppose we're not on the autobahn, are we? So it's quite dangerous around there. What I would have loved is a scenery designer kit where you could do the graphics, probably on the Amiga more, do the graphics and the circuit and design your own cars. Was absolutely lacking, so I'm glad this version exists, I really am. Just because, again, for that Amiga connection. Okay, but we will be just doing Sega games at some point, but I thought it's a nice introduction for me. There's Speedball 2 as well, it's also on this, and a few other ones people have told me about, some crossovers. So we got lots of fun. It's like starting to review a new system, it's always like a treasure trove first of all, because you're going to hit all the best games, then you're going to hit all the mediocre ones, and then you're just looking for hidden gems really, and we're pulling into the garage. Off we go. Yes, that wasn't the best time in the world, and we crashed a few times there, didn't we? Oh, we only crashed once. You crashed one time, you got 3 speeding tickets. You have 3 lives left. Not bad. Better than the real life, which I've only got 1 life left, and it's this one. The computer won this round, the computer is winning the game. Yeah, the little show off. But 16 minutes 19 seconds, this. Cool, this is a long stage, 6.7 miles. Yeah, the stages do look very similar. That's my one criticism here. You choose the scenery, and they do look very similar to each other. The Amiga version had 3 sort of, the master scenery disc, had 3 set ones like forest, desert, and mountains essentially. The European scenery disc, you had like different hills, mountains, and it was different graphics about the place. So you had like the Colosseum in the background for Italy, the German Autobahn, which we've done in this, Holland with the windmills and stuff, and castles for Spain. California scenery disc, there was signs telling you you're going across America, going to end up in Mexico and the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. That was quite good fun. This one, It's a bit hard to know really on that last screen just if that has it, but I doubt it. It's just using elements of that and just giving you a bit of variety. But it's good to see. Good to see. If you had this back in the day, there would have been a lot to play, lots of different stages to do. 89 miles an hour. God. And there's my opponent zipping past again, that cursed green box. It's not letting it get too far away, so we're reaching the halfway stage of this particular stage. Can I get him back? Hopefully he's going to crash a few times or run out of petrol or something, but you know, you can't run out of gas or petrol in this. No, you don't need to refuel anything like that at all. Oh, there's my opponent. I think he might have just crashed. We're past him. Right, so he's behind us. That's the only reason why he's going that slow. He's in the rear view mirror. He's coming. Oh, no. See, that's what I should have done. I should have been a bit braver and gone for the overtake straight away. But I didn't. Next time, that Lamborghini Diablo. But this is the first time I've raced against a Lamborghini Diablo. I mean, I don't know how these two cars compare in the real world. Would a Porsche 959 beat a Lamborghini Diablo? I don't know. I don't know. There's probably different versions of the Lamborghini Diablo, isn't there? So I don't know what version that is. This is a version that was around in 1989, the time the game was made. Oh, police are after us again. Here come the police. Or the cops. Yes, as Clarence Boddicker would say, cops don't like me, so I don't like cops. Yes, but we won't blow anyone's hand off in this game. And the police have got us again. Got to slow down because we crash into the police, we're doomed. Hang on a minute, they just drove past. Oh man, we just pulled over to a police car that wasn't asking us to stop. He must be after my opponent. Yeah, you see there's a black rectangle there after the green rectangle. He's after my friend. Oh man, right. Hopefully he does stop him. I don't want him to outrun because then I've got a chance of actually getting this back in line. Oh, good. Look, on the grass. Cool, look at that. So you can do that sometimes. It is a risk. And the police have pulled over the Lamborghini Diablo, it looks. He ain't got too much time, but we can make it a bit of distance at least. Oh no, unless we crash, and we have done. And we only got 0.9 miles left to go as well, so that was a bit silly. So I'm playing this through a recommendation as well. I think there's 2 of you or maybe 3 of you recommended this, so I hope you please let me know if you want me to cover the other scenery disc actually in this. Well, I can't call it a scenery disc, can I? Because it's all on the same cartridge, but you know what I mean. Let's not split hairs about it. Hooray! And retro gaming is all about relaxing and shouting hooray a lot. Hooray! Good, which I do whenever I can. Right, let's just stay behind this car. We've only got 0.2 miles to go. It's not going to make a huge difference to my time, I don't think. But here. I thought this was going to be the last stage. It isn't. I think the next one will be the last stage. And then we'll say adios amigos. Dawson's gas. And juggling supplies. What an odd combination. So you walk in and say, what do you want? Gas or juggling balls? Right, I'm getting pins and needles in my foot now. But that's just a bit of additional information for you that you didn't really need. Away we go. I think we've got plenty of lives to do this. Don't want to foul now. First go was atrocious in the Lamborghini. Flipped over to the Porsche 959 after a practice go in the Ferrari F40. And we're back on track. Still quite a lot of room for improvement because I'm not beating my computer opponent. But I think with a day's practice, which I haven't got time to do, I think I'd be winning this all the time. Because it's like learning where the traffic is, to be fair. Cool, this isn't one for claustrophobes, this road. Mountain either side. If we crash into either of the sides, of course we lose a life. Yes, car overtaking can be a problem, but there doesn't seem to be too much traffic round here, which is good. So 4 miles left. Looks like there's sea, isn't there? To the right, there's a patch of blue anyway. Whoops. Yes. So the graphics are quite basic apart from the in-car ones. Frame rate isn't brilliant for a Sega Mega Drive Genesis game. I love this. Haha. You know, it's like all the parts make up something greater than the sum of the parts, or almost an expression a bit like that. Police after us, 3 miles, less than 3 miles. Stop. He's after me this time. 117, that's quite good for twisty roads. Floor it again. Now we've just got to get to the end here. It's quite close between me and my opponent. You can see the green and the red. I'm slightly ahead of him. If we get round... Oh, look at that! Oh man, how did he get away with that thing? That really messed me up there. He just, I don't know, he fit through there and I've got a speeding ticket. Well, that's just not fair at all. That could be the make or break in who wins the game, to be honest with you. Replay that back. How did he fit through there? I don't think I would have been able to fit through there. I think I would have died. Well, I might as well do lots of risks now to try and get this back. Police are there again. Oh, they're after me, aren't they? They're not after the green man. Right, just try and outrun him. Floor it. Oh, tight corner. That's not what you need when you're trying to outrun the police, who seemingly don't need to slow down round corners. Just hold it on. We can't drift. We've got to do it normal. Good. 1.4 miles to go. I can't see the police in my rearview mirror, which is a good sign. Might turn up in a minute though as we slow down for the corner, down a couple of gears. Still can't see him. Where is he? What we've got? About 0.9 of a mile. Oh, that must be good enough to get rid of him, surely. Look, it looks like he's on top of me by the graphic. Oh man, that's not good. Yeah. Maybe should have slowed down and got the ticket. Last life this is, so I can't mess around now. 0.4 to go. I think this is the last stage. Oh, come on, let's risk it anyway. You only live once. YOLO. They're making it awkward for me. Oh look, finish. Hooray. And we've finished the game on that scenery anyway, as we pull over at Rusty's. I crashed one time, I got 2 speeding tickets, and I got 1 life left. Well, that doesn't matter because I'm there. Now, in the Amiga version, there was a sample of Game Over Man from the Aliens film. Game over, man, game over. I don't think this version does it. Maybe there was a licensing problem, or just some legal problem anyway. There we go, there's me being arrested, which happens at the end, regardless. Now this music's a bit weird. So my license has been revoked for excessive speed. I just wanted to see if it does actually say the game over thing, but I don't think it does. So this is one of those longer videos, if you're still with me. Thank you. Yeah, it just says game over. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Test Drive 2 The Duel on the Sega Genesis or the Mega Drive, published by Accolade in 1989 and developed by Distinctive Software. Thanks for watching that one as always. Got any comments about this game, other versions, other driving games, or anything retro, then please put that below. A huge thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far. It is a bit of a battle building the channel up, so if you haven't subscribed so far, please consider doing so if you want to help out a bit. If you want to help out a bit more, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every bit really does help keep the channel running, trying to keep it on a full-time basis. That's the ultimate dream. Until next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye.